It's gonna be May. Hello everyone, my name is Rachel. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am here to bring you guys my May TBR or my May reading plans. So there's a lot of exciting things going on in May. I'm very excited about May in general because I will have a lot more time to read. In March and April, I did not get to read as many books as I would have wanted just because I was in rehearsals and I was in performances for Cinderella. I was the evil stepmother. It was a fun time. And so now I'm coming off of that and I still have work commitments until like the end of May, but I'll definitely have a lot more time to read than I did the last couple of months. So we have two exciting readathons happening literally back to back from each other. The first one is the Mafia Romance Readathon, and I will link all of the hosts down in the description below, as well as any like announcement videos that I find, anything like that. So this is happening from May 5th to the 8th. Just like with a lot of readathons, there are different prompts and things like that. You can find them on Jen's Instagram because I'm pretty sure she is the one that organized this readathon. I will link her Instagram down in the description as well, so you can find all the prompts and different recommendations that she has, because if you are someone that is looking for Mafia romance recommendations, you need to go to Jen for sure. She has so many videos about different kinds of Mafia romances. I am not the one to go to for recommendations because I just have not read that many, but I am excited for this round of the readathon. I did participate in the round that they had last, I believe it was May or June. I had a really fun time with it then. And I do have a physical book that I would love to get to during that readathon. That is Bloody Heart by Sophie Lark. This is book 4 in her Brutal Birthright series. This one's going to be about Dante, which is really exciting. I feel like he's a very interesting and mysterious character. This is also a second chance romance. I believe the first part of this book happened 9 years before the main part of the story. So really interested to see how this one plays out. I think a lot of people really love this book. I'm really interested in finally getting to Ruthless Stranger, I believe, by Maggie Cole. This is book 1 in her, I think it's her Mafia Wars series. I've had this audiobook sitting in my Audible library for months and I finally just need to read it. Also, the ebook version is available on Kindle Unlimited, as is the ebook for Bloody Heart. All of Sophie Lark's books are available on KU. I would love to get to, I can't remember what the series is called, but it's by J.T. Geisinger. I'll put the first book over here. I want to say it's Carnal Urges, but I could definitely be wrong. Audible kind of recently had a sale, and so I was able to scoop up, I believe, the first 2 or 3 audiobooks of this series for like $4 each, so that was a really great deal. I've heard amazing things about this series from Jen. Once again, she is the queen of Mafia romance recommendations. Really excited to get to this one, and I have a couple of other authors that I might get to. I mean, you know, this readathon is only like a few days, the 5th through the 8th, so I won't have a ton of time to read a lot of books for that, and I'm not quite sure if I'm gonna vlog this readathon because I'm definitely going to vlog the next readathon that is happening literally the next day. So May 9th through the 15th is another round of the Historical Romance Readathon, my favorite readathon ever. Once again, I will link the hosts and any announcement videos that I can find down in the description below. I will definitely be doing a weekly reading vlog for this one. And just like with the Mafia Romance Readathon, there is like a bingo board of prompts if you want to follow that. You can find that on either Jess's, Lacey's, or Lisa's Instagrams because they are the hosts for the readathon. So I will be sure to link their Instagrams down in the description as well. I just have a few authors that I would like to get to. Also, the group book, if you're interested, is The Lion's Lady by Julie Garwood. I don't know if I'm going to read this, to be honest, just because, for one thing, Julie Garwood's audiobooks aren't readily available, and I'd rather not have to spend money to get access to it, you know, by going through Audible. And also, you know, I am not sure that old school historical romances are for me. So when I say old school, I mean historical romances that were written before the year 2000. I just don't know if I'm into that vibe. I've read a few that I've liked, but I haven't loved any, I don't think, not that I can think of. There's not any that are like immediately popping into my head. So I don't know if I'm gonna read the group book this time. I usually do, but I'm just not like excited about this book, even though I have read a book by Julie Garwood and I really enjoyed it. That was The Secret. That is a really great old school historical romance. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just not excited about it, you know? I definitely need to read more from Miss Beverly Jenkins. First of all, I need to link the live show that Jess did on her channel where she had Tiff and Samantha as guest hosts, and they got to interview Beverly Jenkins. I have yet to watch that interview. I don't know what is wrong with me, but you guys need to check it out if you haven't yet. I will once again have that linked down in the description. The description box for this video will be quite full, actually. So yeah, I need to read more from her. I've read her complete Destiny trilogy. I adore that series with my whole heart. Highly, highly recommend that series. I also would highly recommend Indigo. That's the other book that I have read by her. And she has quite the backlist because she's been writing since like the mid-90s up till now. She's still coming out with books. Another author that I'd like to give a chance is Grace Calloway. I'll put a cover over here of a book that I'm interested in. I can't think of it off the top of my head. I think she has quite the healthy backlist. And I've heard pretty good things about her in terms of like, she writes really good, like steamy historical romances, which we know. I'm here for that vibe. I also need to read more from Courtney Milan. I had The Duchess War on my April TBR and that did not happen. So I need to make that happen in May, absolutely. Shanna Galen is another historical romance author. I've read one of her books, I enjoyed it, but I've heard really good things. I'll put the cover over here. I can envision the cover in my mind, but I can't envision the title. But it is one that I believe Lisa really loved, and I think Jess also read it and she really enjoyed it. So yeah, really interested in that. And I mean, come on. I need to read more from Nicola Davidson, my erotic historical romance queen. Love her so much. I don't know what I want to go with when it comes to her though, because I have quite a few of her books on my Kindle just sitting there and I need to just open one up and read it. So yeah, as you can tell, I don't have a clear TBR by any means for either of these readathons, but I wanted to bring them up in this video in case you guys didn't know about them. I am just so excited. Readathons are just such a fun time. So the last few books that I'm going to talk about in this TBR, I'm definitely leaving this video pretty casual. I feel like in the last few months I've been putting like a ton of books on my TBR and there's no way that I can get to all of them, and so for this month I've decided to just focus on a few books that I know I can get to. And so the last 3 books for this TBR are all for SJM along. This was organized by Jen from the book Refuge, and I have been having such a fun time. So far we've been reading the Throne of Glass series, and for this read along we are reading everything by Sarah J Maas in publication order. So you'll see for May we're going to be reading 2 different series at once, kind of. So the first thing we will be reading in May for the SJM along is The Assassin in the Desert, which is the 3rd novella in The Assassin's Blade, which is a bind up of prequel novellas for the Throne of Glass series. I've just been having a good time rereading these novellas. They're not anything all that spectacular, though I do think they add something to the world and to the characters. So really interested to see what I think about this next novella upon reread. Then we are going through to book 3 of the Throne of Glass series, which is Heir of Fire. Definitely one of my top favorite books of the series. And the live show for that novella that I just mentioned and Heir of Fire, let's see, that is going to be May 15th at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on Tori's channel, Tori from the channel Novel Life. And I'm also going to be a guest host for this live show, which is so exciting. I can't wait to discuss all the things that happen in this book and the characters that we get introduced to, because if you don't really know anything about this series, we have our main character Selena Sardathian, who is an assassin, and in this book she goes to a completely different kingdom. So there's a lot of new characters being introduced, and it's just, yeah, it's just such a fantastic book. This is really where the series starts coming into its own, and I'm just so excited to reread it. I have read through all of Sarah J Maas's books once, although I have not read House of Sky and Breath yet. because I know I need to reread House of Earth and Blood, and I've just been putting that off. But I've read all of her other books once. So yeah, I'm just so excited to reread this for the first time. And then in the second half of May, we are reading A Court of Thorns and Roses. So this is what I'm talking about when I say that we're mixing series, because we are reading her books in publication order. So this is more of a new adult fantasy romance series that this first book is based off of Beauty and the Beast for sure. And it just has a different vibe from Throne of Glass. I feel like people that have only read this series, they go into Throne of Glass expecting more romance. And yes, there is romance for sure in Throne of Glass, but it definitely focuses a bit more on what's going on in the world than I would say this series does. I feel like this series definitely focuses more on the romance. So yeah, I'm excited to reread this, though I will say this first book for me was very lackluster. The first time that I read it, like, I gave it 4 stars, but maybe I was a bit generous. I remember being bored a lot of the time while reading this, but I'm excited because Hoopla has the new like graphic audio edition of the audiobook. So there's this audiobook production company called Graphic Audio, and they produce audiobooks with a full cast of voice actors, and they also put like sound effects and music and different things like that. Like, you really feel like you're listening to a movie. So I'm really excited for my reread because I'm definitely gonna go with listening to that audiobook. And I found at least like the first part of ACOTAR on Hoopla. I'm hoping that Hoopla will get more parts of the series as Graphic Audio releases them. So I'm just really excited to listen to this new audiobook. I feel like it's gonna really make the story come to life. So yeah, the live show for this one, let me get this information. This is May 31st at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on Crystal's channel. Crystal's channel is Crystal's Bookish Life. So yeah, that is going to be it for this pretty short and sweet May TBR. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I would love it if you would leave a comment down below if you want to tell me about books that you are planning on reading in May. And with all of that being said, I would love it if you would leave a like and subscribe, and I thank you so much in advance if you do. So I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!